These pearls of wisdom are brought to you by Carl Johnson and members of the Oyster Bay Church of Christ, located at 1044 Shadeville Road, which is 4 miles east of Crawfordville, Florida.
You are the man. It is a universal tendency to find fault in others while overlooking our own shortcomings. This discrepancy arises from a combination of reasons that influence how we perceive ourselves as well as how we perceive others. One of the most significant reasons we are quick to judge others but slow to recognize our own faults is the self-serving bias, referring to the tendency to attribute our successes to our own abilities or efforts while blaming external factors when we fail. This bias helps protect our self-esteem by allowing us to maintain a positive view of ourselves. If we perform well on a project, we might attribute it to our hard work or our own intelligence. But if we fail, we might blame bad luck or insufficient resources. In contrast, when observing others, we tend to focus on their mistakes rather than considering the external factors that might have influenced them. This makes it easier to criticize others while giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt. Another factor contributing to the difficulty of seeing our own faults is the nature of perspective. When we observe others, we do so from a detached external viewpoint. We are not directly involved in their decisions or their experiences, and this distance allows us to be more objective and critical. However, when we examine our own actions, we are looking from an internal, subjective perspective. We are influenced by our own thoughts, our own emotions, and justifications. We know the context of our actions and intentions, and it gives us a more lenient view of ourselves. Emotional investment also plays a role in how we perceive ourselves and others. Acknowledging our faults can often be uncomfortable, as it challenges our self-image and threatens our sense of self-worth. To protect ourselves from this, we often engage in rationalizations or even denial, convincing ourselves that our actions were justified or that we are not the ones to blame. In contrast, when we evaluate others, we are not personally invested in their self-esteem, so we can more readily assess their actions with criticism instead of patience and understanding. An example of this from the Scriptures can be found in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 12. Here the prophet Nathan delivers a powerful rebuke to King David after he committed adultery with Bathsheba and orchestrated the death of her husband Uriah. Being guilty of adultery and murder, David never stopped to think about the sin in his own life. When David heard the parable delivered to him by Nathan, he became outraged at the rich man's actions, and he declared that he should be punished severely, never realizing the story was about him all the while. Nathan then reveals to David that he, in fact, is the rich man in the story. David was quick to see the fault in others, but failed to see the fault in himself. Thankfully, Nathan's bold declaration, "You are the man," brought David to his senses. It was a call for repentance and a moment of accountability. And when David was confronted with the reality of his own sin, he repented. May we always remember to examine ourselves first before casting that first stone.
These pearls of wisdom are brought to you by Carl Johnson and members of the Oyster Bay Church of Christ, located at 1044 Shadeville Road, which is 4 miles east of Crawfordville, Florida.